The Las Vegas Aces won the 2023 WNBA championship, but it wasn't easy. Many people doubted them, and in their final game, they were playing in their opponent's arena and losing at halftime. So what did they do well to win their historic second championship in a row? And what did the New York Liberty do wrong to lose? My name is Bryce Wilson. I'm a mental performance coach, and I'll be giving you a full mental breakdown going into and during the WNBA finals. To do this, I watched every pre- and post-game interview of both teams, and here's what I found.
And a lot of people counted us out. We read it, we see it.
Thank you.
And it fueled us, so thank you.
You can tell they took in all the comments of people doubting them becoming back-to-back champions. And not only did they read and listen to the comments, they remembered them. And it fueled them to prove the naysayers wrong and lift the trophy. I don't know if they kept track of the specific people that dissed them, but it sounds like it. This is similar to Coach Deion Sanders saying he keeps receipts. This can be a helpful practice if you're fueled by haters. Screenshot or save negative comments about you on social media. Keep that recording of a reporter doubting you, and replay those comments in your mind while you're working out or during crunch time of a game. This does depend on your personality. Some people could get discouraged and lose confidence when they hear people doubt them. So in that case, you might need to find a way to block them out. You need to figure out what works best for you.
This is probably the tightest group I've ever been around.
It's not a secret. Teams that don't get along don't play well as a team. They may win some games, but winning a championship is very unlikely. Championship teams are teams that work together, have loyalty and trust. This doesn't mean you have to be best friends with your teammate. Dennis Rodman said he never hung out with Michael Jordan, and they weren't close. But their relationship was built on loyalty and trust on the court, and that's why they won 3 championships together. When you have genuine love and respect for your teammate, not only are you going to give your best for your sake, but you'll give your best for their sake and play unselfishly.
We've prayed together, we've cried together, we've celebrated together, all in between. The night before, we just watched film and played games.
If you're not close with your teammates, spend some time with them outside of your sport and just do something fun. You'll likely find something you like about them. Building a relationship with your teammate off the court where you genuinely care about them helps you all have chemistry and play well together on the court.
And that was our mantra. Keep playing. Next play, keep playing. Offensively, keep playing. Defensively, keep playing.
This is crucial. Not only having a mantra so that the whole team is on the same page, but also what the mantra is. Keep playing is a good one because no matter what the game throws at you, whether it's a bad ref call, a tough physical opponent, unlucky situations, if you just keep playing instead of whine and complain, that's when you'll make the most of the situation. Focus on the solution, not the problem.
And I think that was the biggest thing that I could do was be better than I was last game.
Growth and achievement is really as simple as that. Be better than you were yesterday. That goes with anything, in sports or not. Improve your defense, offense, communication, whatever you're lacking in each game, in each practice, and you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish. This is the attitude that I try to live by with whatever I do. Even with these YouTube videos, I'm trying to make each one better than the last. And hopefully the videos that I'm making a year from now will be unrecognizable to the ones I'm making now. If you keep improving day after day with consistency, then the sky's the limit.
Be consistent and be me. And I'm so grateful to have teammates that allow me to be me because that's when we can get things flowing.
The people around you should encourage and allow you to be yourself, to try new things, to have fun. Because when you play like yourself and your personality shines through your performance, that's when you play your best.
You keep racking up the wins. How does she keep you motivated?
We have a standard. We don't play to the scoreboard.
The Aces won a championship because they held themselves to that standard. If you hold yourself to the standard of a mediocre team, you'll be okay with losses and not winning games that you should have. But if you hold yourself to a standard of a championship level team, every loss you'll go back and evaluate what you could have done better. And every win you'll pinpoint what you did well so that you can repeat it the next game. Elite players are elite because they hold themselves to a higher standard than everyone else. What standard are you holding yourself to?
You're missing 2 starters. Things look bad. Why were you so confident in this group to win right now?
I know who I have in my locker room. There's not a person out here that I don't believe in.
Going into their final game, they were missing 2 starters due to injuries, yet their bench players stepped up and made the difference. This only happens if the coach and teammates believe and trust them. That means trusting them by passing the ball to them, trusting them on defense, and that trust is built through reps and practice. This likely wasn't the first time that they've been put in those positions, and the bench players played well because they were ready and prepared for that moment. If you're a bench player, make sure you're actively preparing day in and day out, so you're ready for when that golden opportunity arises.
And I always say, let that light from within shine brighter than the light that's on you.
This was a good quote. I don't know if she came up with it, but what it means is she has a spotlight on her being a WNBA player and also being an MVP. But in order for that attention and pressure to not get to her head, she has to be focused on her light within, which is how she treats people, being an unselfish teammate, being a loyal leader, and always giving her best. If she focuses on the light within rather than the spotlight on her, then she'll be well rewarded, and she will have earned that spotlight staying on her. This is what the New York Liberty could have done better in the series. In the final minutes of Game 4 at home, where if Liberty lost, they would lose the series, Sabrina Ionescu threw up. I'm not sure if it's because she had the flu or had some other sickness, but it's no coincidence that she felt like throwing up in the last minutes of a tied championship game.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the emotions of the game, everything going on.
This is a mental weakness because it shows that she still has to work on dealing with pressure moments. Now, it's impossible possible to get rid of those butterflies in your stomach during pressure moments if you really care about the outcome. But if you're nervous, that means you're thinking about what might happen if you fail and what you could lose. Athletes who are great under pressure label those nerves as excitement because they're thinking about what will happen if they win and what they could gain. Kobe was never scared to take a game-winning shot because he wasn't thinking about what would happen if he missed. He was thinking about how great it would be if he made it, and that's why he often did. Perceived pressure situations, not for what you could lose, but for what you could gain. But after losing the championship, they did take the loss well.
When you set lofty goals, sometimes not achieving them feels like failure, but this season wasn't a failure. I believe there's beauty in the struggle, and you have to understand what it feels like to lose to come out on top.
Sabrina is a three-point champion, and she does have a good perspective on failure. Just because you set a big dream goal and fall short doesn't mean it's a failure. There's only one team that wins the championship each year, so does that mean the other 11 teams are failures? It's fine to have major dream goals, but you have to redefine success if there's only one result that you'd consider a success. They may have failed at their championship goal, but they succeeded in many other goals to get there. So although it's great to be honest about failing, it's also good to pat yourself on the back and identify what you did well before you make your next attempt.
It is really disappointing. There's just going to be a greater outcome from this. Knowing what it feels like to win championships, but also knowing what it feels like to lose one and making sure that I don't feel that again.
This is a WNBA MVP, and she's the MVP for a reason. This is her first time losing a championship, and this is the best way to respond and a prime example of how losing can make you better. The pain of this loss will stick with her and fuel her in practice and games, and I bet next season she'll come back with a vengeance. This is why I think the Las Vegas Aces won, but why do you think they won?